everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the corporate world. Today we're diving into a recent filing from Franklin BSP Realty Trust, and let's just say there might be some disagreements in the boardroom. It's like when your family plays Monopoly but with millions of dollars at stake. In this video, we're going to unpack their latest report, see how their investments are doing, and find out why they couldn't agree on changing some voting rules. It's a mix of good news, not so good news, and a little bit of corporate drama. Before we get started, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below. Come join the discussion. This report is called an 8K, and it's basically a quick update a company sends to the Securities and Exchange Commission to let everyone know about important events. It's like a corporate breaking news bulletin. The event we're covering happened in May of 2025. So the big event here was their annual meeting in May. Stockholders, meaning the people who own shares in the company, got to vote on some important decisions. There were four main things they voted: changing some voting rules, approving their accounting firm, and giving an opinion on executive pay. First up, the election of directors. Think of directors as the people who sit on the company's board, kind of like the captains of the ship. The shareholders voted on 7 people to be on the board for the next year: Pat Augustin, Richard Byrne, Joe Jamars, Jamie Handwerker, Peter McDonough, Buford Orthal, and Elizabeth Tuppenny. All of them got the thumbs up. Now let's look at the numbers. For Pat Augustin, for example, about 44 million votes were cast in favour, around 49,000 voted against, and about 7,000 abstained, meaning they didn't pick a side. It's important to note that there were also about 13 million broker non-votes. This happens when brokers holding shares for clients don't get instructions on how to vote or choose not to vote on certain matters. And finalists look at the 7,000 abstained, meaning they didn't pick a side. It's important to note that there were also about 13 million broker non-votes. This happens when brokers holding shares for clients don't get instructions on how to vote or choose not to vote on certain matters. Next, things get a little more interesting. They wanted to change the company's rules to get rid of something called supermajority voting requirements. Basically, right now, some big decisions need more than just a simple majority vote. They need, in this case, 2/3 of the shares to agree. The company wants to make it easier to pass big changes, but it didn't work out. So the vote happened, and while a majority favoured changing the rules with around 44 million votes, it wasn't enough to reach that 2/3 threshold. About 540,000 voted against, and around 282,000 have abstained, so the supermajority voting requirements stay in place. This means that a smaller group of shareholders can still block major decisions. This could lead to disagreements or make it harder for the company to make big changes in the future. Moving on, the shareholders voted to approve PricewaterhouseCoopers LLP or PRC as the company's independent accounting firm for the year. This is pretty standard stuff. Companies need an outside firm to check their books and make sure everything is on the up and up. Around 58 million votes were cast in favour, which is a pretty solid endorsement. Finally, there was an advisory vote on how much the company's top executives get paid. This vote isn't binding, meaning the company doesn't have to follow it, but it's a way for shareholders to express their opinion on executive compensation. Turns out the shareholders mostly approved. About 37 million votes were for the compensation, about 6.9 million against, and 372,000 abstained. So what's the big picture here? Franklin BS Realty Trust had their annual meeting, elected their board, and approved their accounting firm and executive pay. The interesting part is that they failed to change the voting rules. This suggests there might be some disagreements among shareholders about the company's direction. The failure to change the voting rules might mean that the company will have a harder time making big decisions. It could lead to more internal battles and potentially slow down the company's ability to adapt to changing market conditions. On the other hand, it could also ensure that all voices are heard and prevent a small group from pushing through unpopular changes. Overall, the company seems to be running smoothly, but this failed vote is something to keep an eye on. It could be a sign of bigger issues brewing beneath the surface. Alright, that's our breakdown of Franklin BSP Realty Trust's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.